bring to us. Uh, and the worst thing was the globalization. When I read this book in was when 2014, it was the death of that time. It was maybe 6 million people. From that 6 million people, there were 500,000 women raped and mutilated. For me, it was not the fall of the banks that was the best, the worst thing that was happening in that the dawn of the globalization. It was the war of Congo, and the Congo is the center of the globalization because of cobalt, because of coltan, because of copper, uranium, and coming oil. You know, so we are in the center. Without us, the book is just a demonstration that without Congo, the world is not like you see the world today. Demonstration. Why? Because, and the end of that book of Congo ENC, the last phrase is before the epilogue. The last phrase is Congo, laboratory of the future. That was 2014. Because what? Because why? Because I'm Congolese. I'm African. And it happened to be that this Congo is emblematic, that it's in the center of Africa. And that's where you find all, it is the richest country in all Africa. I mean, so I look at the world from Congo. But the last phrase is Kinshasa, the laboratory of the future. Why? Because I say, one day, the journalist, they asked me, yeah, why did you write that here in Europe? I say, because one day, we're African, we are getting more clever and clever, and not even, we find the tools to play with their democracy, this concept that they put everywhere. We play with the same tool, we become more and more intelligent. And the warhead was already tough, and it became more and more tough. And we see that in our children, me as an old man. My children are more radical than me, much more, not a little. I say, what you do to us in Africa and most of the country of the South, we went through everything that a human being can endure, for centuries. So today we are different. We have become very. I don't say when they say, yeah, you're getting old. I say I don't get old. I'm fossilizing. I'm 71. When they say I'm old, I say no, 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 I don't get old. I get old already. You understand? Now
You're in
at
the spirit.
71, I'm fossilizing.
Mm-hmm.
And Africa too. I say, what do you do to us today? You're going to see it's just a laboratory. For us, African, it's a laboratory. The way tomorrow is going to be, because to us, you're not going to play with us like you played before. It's going to get there. And then when they need us for the raw material and everything, but one day it's going to get more and more hard to take from us, to restrain us. they're going to come back to you, European. That was 2014. After a few years, you see the fall of Greece and fall of few nations here in Europe. And then you see the World Monetary Fund coming. You know, that tool that put us down for decades in Africa, the World Monetary Fund coming, Greece, Portugal, I think, in 2, 3 countries in Europe.
If
After
we stay
that,
on the, oh, sorry.
after that, you have the war of Ukraine. It's a proxy war, the same kind of war we have in Congo. So the American to come and fight in Congo, they send they run this proxy war. Because of that proxy war, the guy, a European white man, they chase him in the international court, the same as an African. Because normally you go in the neck, there's only Africans. Milosevic killed himself. They're all Africans. And that we cry about colonization and and what is name? Trump is menacing them of to colonize Canada, England, everywhere. You were, and they're shaking
I
their
was
crying.
gonna get to that. That laboratory has turned
You
on the
know,
colonizers, you know.
and that's it's only it's 2014. It's 10 only 10 years. Huh? They are hearing the wind of colonization is of them. We laugh. We growing even little by little, brick by brick. I go in Africa. I was in Kenya not a long time ago. I was in Lagos not a long time ago. I've been in Mali. I've been in Morocco. I've been everywhere. Countries. Even we speak, we cry every day. We are angry for the country. Yes, we criticize Congo everywhere, every day. But we are growing here is going down. Even it's little by little, every day something, and maybe a road is made, maybe a airport is, maybe the port is gonna make it more deep, little by little. But here is going down. It's going. I'm here. I'm here. You know. And my thinking about Congo ENC was about globalization. I didn't, but the problem is me, the right here. I'm the writer. I take Congo and I put it in the center of the world, and then I look at the world. When I made Mathematique Congolaise, my first book that is not in English yet. That book I made it. It's about what do you call political manipulation. Everybody were thinking that it's about Congo. It was the same time when there was war in Iraq. You know, because the first
So
time I
if
saw Colin
we,
Powell in the thing, I didn't believe him because the night I was writing the same thing. You know, I didn't believe him. I started to laugh because in the night before I was writing the same thing, how to manipulate with just something stupid. You know, and because I put the Congo in the center of the world,
you
the point of
mentioned
view of a Congo.
globalism, Jean,
Sorry?
you mentioned globalism.
Yeah,
You mentioned globalism just recently. So if we stay a bit with globalism and global capitalism, as well as your personal experience or concept, in Congo Inc., we see globalism feeling
yeah,
like almost as if it's alive, as if it were one of the characters in the book. And when you were growing up in Congo as a child, did you experience global economic forces as abstract ideas or as something that was immediate and concrete in everyday life? And how has that shaped the way you write about capitalism and exploitation?
Because I see the exploitation when I was, since I'm, as you say, when I was a child. I'm born before the independence, 57, 54, you know. So I knew the big companies because of the plantation, all the oil, the coffee, everything was going to the rich companies, that today get a lot of, multinational. The United Nations, your organisation de l'ONU. United Nations for me is not the way people see United Nations here. My first war was because of United Nations were there. That's the way they catch Lumumba. You know? So I know when everybody is crying, US aid, Trump get the US aid. Everybody cry. Yeah, John, you can imagine they get the US aid in Africa, what they're gonna do. I know US aid in what time? 1963, 4. We were chicken from US aid. This chicken, it was in a tin. It was in a tin. You open it, the juice of the chicken, and cooked. Cooked. It was a big chicken. We liked it when we were children. Why we liked it? Because the bone, you take a bone of a chicken, you make, and it crashed like a biscuit. They was giving us that to eat. US head.
Well,
I was a little child. We could see this man, he's throwing me with his US head. He want to know everything. He speak the language. He learned the language in the States, huh? So he's a spy. As a child, you know that this guy is a spy, American spy. And we were thinking the chicken was bad. I don't know. I think it was some supply from the last war, 45. They was giving that to us. You can imagine a bone. You take a corpse, in the ground. You put it for 100 years. The bone is still gonna be there. But the bone of the chicken was melting like that. For us children, of course, your mother will see that one time, 2 times after you're not allowed to eat it anymore. But for us, it was like because it was like biscuit, not a hard biscuit, just and it goes the bone of the chicken. That's US head. So all those things. I know, I know because we are born it. That's why I put Congo in the center of the world because everything they see today, we laugh. But that's why there is that video game, Raging Trade. Raging Trade. If I say so like that, maybe European, they're going to understand that all that is a game. But my first thinking it was not Fukushima the problem. For me, it was the problem of Congo. You know, the problem was not the fall of the bank in 2008. That's nothing. The fall of Wall Street. But that was the biggest problem they had in that globalization that time. Congo, nobody think about Congo. So I had to talk about Congo. I call the book Congo ENC. It's not a country. It's not a sovereign country. It's the first reserve, the global reserve for raw material, Congo. So that means we have to know that as Congolese.
okay. Let's change direction a bit and talk irony, satire, and humor. And your writing often uses irony, satire, and humor, even when addressing brutal histories. And do you see humor as a form of resistance, a survival mechanism, or something else? And does it allow you to dismantle systems of power in ways direct critic cannot?
No, because I don't know if we call it humor, irony, maybe, but in français it's dérision, dérisoire. I don't know, the dérisoire, something, why, why, you know, so just, why, c'est quoi, what, it's more that, because I have a personal history, you know, I have a personal history and I live that history. Because if you see me here in Belgium today, it's because I was in Belgium when I was a child. And if I came in Belgium, because I have a personal history that make me move and live all the things, the things to live the history. I mean, when you are there the day of the independence of Congo, that means a lot. You know, you live it, you feel it. You know that it's the day of independence. You know, the rebellion, the war of Mulele War. You live it. You know, you have to escape the country. You live it. No, your children or your parents. Because for me, it's three generations. Escaping war here, war there. You know, I mean, so these three, you live it and but you're still there. I never lost a parent in front of me like that or something, and so I mean everything for me that I see, I'm how do you call it? A kind of conqueror
Mm.
of life.
Mm.
I prevail. You know, so we laugh when you're together in the family. We laugh. You remember
Is
that day,
laughter
blah
a
blah.
coping mechanism, would you say, or what? I mean, or is it?
Because we are alive, just alive,
Mm.
and that all these things, I won those wars, my little wars of my life. You know, normally I should not be alive today, but I'm alive. So I laugh to tell them that anything you do will be there, human being.
Right.
You know, anything you do, there's
Kind of like
nobody
we
in
will
power.
still rise.
Sorry,
We
sorry.
will still rise, no matter what you do. We will
Of
still
course,
rise.
of course,
Yes.
of course.
Mm. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
and you can be alive for just a little bit. It's not sometimes it's not even a big thing, just a little thing and you're alive. Or a little word,
Mm.
just a word, one word, but it was the appropriate word.
Mm. Mm.
And
Let
but what I know is that talking is important. Talking is
absolutely.
important. You never stay. Talking is important. That's why I like to write books. you
Isn't the
know,
talking? So I attended this conference recently, and they talked about talking uh, as an important tool in terms of healing, but also doing it in community. What would you say about that, rather than maybe processing things on your own? That the African way to do it is like you do it in community.
I mean, in my tribe, I'm a Mongo from the forest, like Isokanga. No, Isokanga is from the forest. Isokanga and me, we are the same. We are different tribe. He's a pygmy, 1 meter 40. I'm 1 meter 80 something. So but we are this is the same tribe. They are Mongo like me. He's a Konda, me I'm Penge. It's another clan. And Isokanga, and in my tribe, we are the first jurisdiction. What do you say? Jurisdiction in the law, the first, like Supreme Court.
Right.
By Mongo is the word. Anybody can speak, and you have to listen to him. A child, old man, women, men, everybody. Just come in the center of the village, you say, come, and everybody has to come. But you're not alone. You don't come alone like that. You have to come with people with you. Even you are 10 years old. And then what you have to say, you say it.
Beautiful.
We are not shy. I mean, I'm a people, I'm grown, I grow that no, you're not shy to speak. Shy for other thing, yeah, but for us to speak, never. You have a problem with somebody, straight you say to him, don't wait. No, 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 no. You don't wait. The same time, there's a problem. The same time you ask him and you discuss about it, and it's gonna be solved anyway. But the straight, never wait, never, never. Word is the first. It's like Supreme Court. It top everything before war or before anything or before to marry. Before to marry, before for important things, words.
Absolutely. So
So I mean,
I have
it's natural. I have this thing that, and not only is talking because you can talk, but there's no. Sometimes in Europe here they talk about griot. Maybe there's griot in your tribe. I said no. To me, there's no griot because griot is people special to 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 speak about the king, about Caesar. You know, to us, no. Everybody can speak. There's not special people to speak. You see? That's why maybe I wrote very late. I was 60, 50 when I started to write, because anytime I can say, okay, I write. I have something to say to you. And that's all.
But it sounds beautiful, like you didn't experience the hierarchy that may exist in other tribes or in other countries. Like in your tribe, it's like or among your people, everybody
Yeah,
are equal, regardless of age.
yeah. Everybody.
Hmm.
You know.
So can I
So
ask you a
voilà.
personal can I ask you a personal question? Because I've wondered about that for months now. What does In Koli mean?
Koli is a wound.
A wound. In Koli is
A
a
wound,
wound.
but a fresh wound.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a story behind your mother naming you In Koli?
No, it's the name of her father. But I don't know why he gets that name.
Okay. All right.
But the
I
father
was
is not Bofane. Me, I have the name of my mother, Bofane.
Hmm.
And in my tribe, the names, everybody's got his own name.
Hmm.
My mother was Veronique Bofane, her sister, Bala Thérèse,
Hmm.
her brother, Bompete Clément.
Hmm.
Everybody had a different name.
Yeah.
But then you have to say who's your father, who's your mother, and
Hmm.
your village.
Hmm.
But everybody has his own name.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't belong to nobody. You see what I mean? You don't belong to
Kind of
nobody.
like you're kind of like amplifying that everyone's unique in their own way.
Yeah. You know.
Hmm.
And
Also,
then when the white man came, and he came with the children, the child must have the name of the father. Like,
mm,
all the women, it was like you take her child, you take her child,
exactly.
because the name go to the father. It's not normal.
Mm,
But even my wife, my ex-wife, when I marry her,
mm,
I say her name is Annie Chinyama.
mm.
So I said just before the marriage to make the paper and all those things. I said, Annie, you're gonna take the name Chinyama Bofane. What do you think? I don't. I'd ask her if I think the name Chinyama. You think he's gonna Annie Bofane? Like she looked at me. She said, "What do you
No,
want me
it's
to do? To take off the name of my father and take yours?"
exactly. Who do you think you are?
I didn't say anything. I just shut my mouth. I didn't say it was really stupid, to say she's gonna take the name of her father from my name. It was stupid, that's some rules like that. But in Africa we know how to be a human being with human being.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's beautiful, even though it's I still kind of I don't know about the child taking the father's name automatically, but I think it's beautiful that the wife keeps her name, um, and
Really?
then maybe the children can decide upon when they
Me,
grow
I
up.
have the name of my mother.
Yeah,
It's good. It
beautiful.
changed a little. It's but in the Congolese Heritage, I talk about the freedom of women in my tribe, you
Mm.
know, by the Mongo.
Mm.
You know, I mean, it's very, we are like that. But the wife I married, which is Luba, they are very strict with women. So a lot of girls from Luba, they go to marry us because we are much more free, of course.
Ah,
Yahweh.
it's like a
By the,
strategic
by,
thing.
by the Luba, you can do this, you can do that, and you can do this, you can do that. But to us, no. You can even have two men if you if you want. you know,
Right? Yeah,
you can have polyandry. I talk about polyandry in Congolese. Yeah, that a woman she can have two men.
but
If
it's not.
the first one fail.
But it feels like it's something that has sort of been buried because uh, nowadays when you talk
No, it's
like polygamy, it's often that the men have several wives, whereas
yeah,
it's
yeah. Most of the time,
it has
that
become a
people talk
taboo
about
thing
that.
for the woman to have.
It's easy, you know. It's very. I mean, that's why sometimes in my books all the time I want to make the promotion of ancestor way of
Mm,
thinking.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I think so. I mean, it's much more smooth and it's much more. Anyway, it been for centuries and
Mm,
millennia. So there's other ways. My new book, the Cannibal Nation, is the same. I talk
mm.
about our own way of thinking, which
It's
is
like it's more human focused, I feel, rather than
ouais,
institution focused.
ouais,
Mm,
voilà. We are collective society, but everybody's got his own way. You know,
exactly. It's not
we don't.
so kind of not like the uh, collectivism where you as an individual just gets completely swallowed in the whole, but we are united, but we're still one.
No, I always promote that
Mm.
because even though the modern time, of course, there's a lot of bad things comes. But for the moment, the roots are still there. I was for example, when I go to South Latin America, or I go to Africa, most of the festival and things, it's much more. You can have a lot of much more, not only writers, people who think, or maybe a Jeju man or somebody who's got a project in one village like that, or somebody who speak about to talk about the language, for example, of that tribe or that tribe. We have a lot of much more mixing. I mean, people try to find other things than this West way of thinking.
Right.
You know. I mean, it's time because he has become like a nightmare.
It's a bit too much separation. So
Right.
let's switch gear a bit and talk memory, trauma, and storytelling. So we know that you were a child when Patrice Lumumba was assassinated. I think you were 6 years old around that time. And
Yeah,
sorry?
yeah, I was
Ar-
six.
Around 5, 6, right? And can you describe your first memory of that moment, like what you saw, heard, or felt, and how that experience shaped your understanding of violence, silence, and power in your writing?
I mean, I saw when Lumumba died, the 17th January of 61, we had escaped, our family had escaped in September from Congo. We escaped because of war. So when I was in, then we escaped to Belgium. That's the first time I
Mm,
came.
yeah.
And so I saw the death of Lumumba on television,
Mm,
not the 17th of January,
mm.
because they didn't, I think it was in February, they started to talk about the death of Lumumba, saying that he was killed by some Congolese. That's the way what they thought. But that was coming from war myself,
Mm.
you know. And then we saw this footage, but they catch him. When they arrest him and they get him
Yeah,
out of the plane. You know, that's it. I had that was some when you're a child. Sometimes you have a nightmare
mm,
that comes regularly. My nightmare till maybe 10 years old, coming every week. Well, that nightmare me was Lumumba in flames.
no. Okay.
The same scene, but you put flames.
Right. Wow.
the same thing you saw, but you put flames. That was on my nightmare. I wake up in the night if I'm lucky.
But would you say that because in our previous talk earlier last year, you talked about your impression of French as a
Ouais.
language of violence. Did that kind of amplify the whole impression, having the previous experience of French just being a language to insult us, to give us order, or kill or whatever,
Yeah,
and then you have the
yeah.
story of the assassination of Lumumba, and did that kind of culminate into an even bigger trauma for you, or what would you say?
Yeah, but it was, I think was when I talked to you that history, I really lived it. It's not, I didn't read it in the book, the
Mm,
story of
mm,
Congo,
mm,
you know. And no, it was, I mean, French, for example, can be only violence. How come it can be something else? It was nothing to do with the French I'm speaking today. Nothing,
mm.
nothing. But that's the perception that I had as a child. When they open their mouths, you just have to insult people, to give orders, uh, make the face like this. You know.
I find it incredible
That,
that I mean, as a child, you're already had captured even the essence of it, of that violence, um, because you were talking about saying asifi, asifi, but it wasn't just asifi that you mentioned. It was the fact that you connected that action, or those words, with
Yeah,
the
and I have to put
beatings.
this chair or something, my
Exactly.
fist on the chair,
Yeah.
to show that I'm a white man.
Hmm.
I do like white men.
No, I
Just
mean
the
you
way
probably
they
had
are.
to you had to process that, but I can imagine coming from having the colonial experience and then having Lumumba dying and then having the nightmares that haunted you until you were 10 years old. I mean, how did you, how can I say,
No,
how did
I
you
mean, it
process
just
that?
I lived it. I couldn't do. I lived it. I had to live it. You know, and that's and it's my country. You know, it's my country. So we escaped from the country, and we always got back. The family always got back to Congo. That time, the 60 war, 64 war, after the 91, 93. No, it's too much for one man, one family, one family. What I lived, my children live the same. My children live the same. The youngest one is 30 years old, but he live the
But
same.
there is a continuity to that in
There is something like that.
it's like I don't think any generation of Congolese, if we talk from independence to now, has kind of been spared the wars. Um,
No, there is a lot.
because
You know,
I left around the was it in, so I left 92, and so I experienced
well,
the pillage, that one, and
yeah,
also
voilà.
the
See, you didn't
the
spend the second.
shooting, the military
It was
shooting and
worse.
walking around.
Yeah.
So it feels, and then looking
My
at the
children,
ex-
they came in
and looking
91
at the
September.
movie, you're like,
Yeah,
every single generation has experienced that. You
voilà.
know,
You know,
this
all
is
the
not, it's
Congolese
not
and
that
those
new.
shootings.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
that new. I mean, we talk in recent politics, we talk 30 years back, but if we go even 30 years back from that, it's like the people in the, who were living in the 50s, 60s, they experienced
ouais,
that. The 70s, they
ouais, ouais.
experienced that,
C'est
and
ça.
so on.
Ouais,
So,
ouais, ouais. Ouais, ouais, ouais. Ah ouais. That's why I tell you a lot of us, they've experienced small or big, but most of them, they hear shootings.
mm,
You know, hear shooting is, even you don't believe in God, you're gonna
mm,
cry God when it's shooting outside your home.
right.
Even you don't, I don't believe in God. Huh? The day's gonna be shooting in front of your house. You're gonna kneel down and pray God. Anybody.
Mm,
You can't call nobody. Not the cops, because that's the cops that shooting. You can call your lawyer or your assurance company. No. No, then you go down on your knees.
mm,
You know, and all the generation, most of us in Congo. I don't even talk about the one in Kyiv, 30
I
years
know.
old.
No, yeah. Mm,
All those Wazalendo, they're all born in war.
mm,
The day they come in war, there was shootings. There was people cutting in pieces, killing their mother, their brother, their father. Those Wazalendo you see in Congo.
mm.
That's why nobody's going to take this country. No, nobody's going to take Congo, never. Impossible. We've been all through something, a trauma, real trauma.
Today was the second time I watched the movie, and I mean, you always discover something new every time you rewatch a movie. And I think in the discourse about what's going on in Congo and the turning of or the becoming the so-called capital of rape, um, where the M23 are basically tearing up communities through forced rape between parents and kids and so on. Um, I think there's like a in the public memory, there seems to have it seems to have been forgotten that this was not initially an African thing because the white mercenaries, were the one that first introduced this. Have you thought about that?
No,
There's a part
no,
in
but it's not,
there's a part in the movie where the guy is talking like, okay, we were
oui,
there,
oui,
we had,
oui, oui, mais oui,
and
oui, oui,
then
si, si, si,
we
si.
would round them up, and then like, is this your child? And you have to
Ouais,
make love with that child.
ouais, ouais, ouais. Si,
And
si.
it's always portrayed as well, or at least for us younger generations, as this is an African thing. These look little savages, what they do.
Never,
But
never, never, never. They made I was working in a think tank of prevention of conflict.
mm,
So I read the report, and for 4 years I did that. So that's the fruit is Congolese, because the war of East and West,
mm,
and comment on dit, crime de masse,
mm,
mass crime.
nice
You know,
crimes, yeah.
I study all of them, Yugoslavia, everywhere. Everywhere there were genocide, Cambodia. So Rwanda, évidemment. Rwanda, Congo. And there is you could see when you could study the wound,
Mm,
the wound of the Hutu did to the people
mm,
by the training they have, the people who was working with them, which training they have by the French. Because you can't
wow.
kill somebody easily like that.
No, no.
You have to know that you have to have a technique. So they put this, they search the traces of this the training of the Hutu, and they found it was by that kind of officer.
So
And Congo
basically,
is
the
the same.
crimes, yes, the
Yeah,
crimes
in Congo is
committed.
the same. If they look good the way this crime is done, they're gonna see in which American academy they learn this thing.
That's an
Easy.
interesting link, yeah.
That's why Mukwege is a very bad witness for a court, because Mukwege, he can tell you is this group who did that to that woman. This is
Yeah,
for the one from that group, because they learn it.
yeah.
It's technique.
Mm,
If I give you a knife, kill that person. Maybe you have to make 100 times before they fall down.
mm,
But not when you know the technique one, 2 times. It's okay.
mm.
You know, all that you in the, I mean, all those things, long time things. What those what is name? Those mercenary in the movie they were talking about it. That was 64. That's when I was a child. Those people, I know them, because when I was in 64, I was already in Belgium in 1960. You know, I studied here, and then we went back to Congo in 63. 63, I was speaking French correctement, and those mercenaries, they came there. Were my meeting them in the swimming pool. And they hear me speaking French. Say, you speak? I was a little boy, 10 years old.
Yeah,
You see me in the movie. You see me plunging in the
exactly.
movie.
Yeah, you see me.
They were the mercenaries. They were coming there, to have a drink and have a good time. And I was there to say, you speak French? Yeah, you speak French. Where did you learn French? I said, in Belgium. You went in Belgium because there was no Congolese at that time. You went in
Yeah.
Belgium? Yeah. Yeah, I was in Belgium. Which street? I said, okay. So every day they were coming home, taking me, put me on the jeep,
Yeah.
and then they go to drink and all that. They take me with them every day, most of the day, So I'm with them all the time at the swimming pool and all that. So when they were speaking about the war they were making, you know, those guys, I
Oh,
met them. Well, when I was small,
yeah.
you know, because I was the only one because it was a small town, you couldn't
Yeah,
you
yeah,
couldn't
exactly.
imagine that this guy a little boy could speak French, and he knew
Right.
Brussels,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they were with the Belgian mercenaries.
But
But I know those guys.
you got first hand
Sorry?
recount. You got first
Oui,
hand
oui, oui, oui,
recount
oui. I
of
was going on
what they
with
were
them
doing.
with the weapons and
Yeah. Oh wow.
the way they were cleaning the guns. There's one scene like that in one on the first Mathematique Congolaise, where I
Mm.
talk about even the smell of the oil
Yeah. They use it. Yeah,
they
exactly.
clean the guns. Yeah,
Yeah.
till
Yeah.
today I have it in my nose. You know.
But it is those type of small things that becomes an imprint from, traumatic
Yeah, it's
experiences.
automatic.
Like
The the the
whether
the,
how
the I talk of the noise of the culasse, when you take the gun,
exactly,
it makes this.
exactly.
When I hear that,
Directly connecting it to the memory. Absolutely.
I don't like it.
No.
Those things. I wrote in just few words in the Mathematique Congolaise, my first novel.
Alright.
I mean,
Jean,
the memory. To me, I don't even know if it's memory. It's more written in the flesh like that, something more like that. But I mean, we are Congolese.
but
We
would
are
you say that
Congolese.
maybe it has become a part of your cellular memory
Voilà.
in a way
You know,
because you've lived it and you've relived it and you've relived it so much that
and you know
it is
that
there.
he's not going to stop today, and then we know it. We know that our fate is complicated,
Mm.
but we laugh a lot.
You have to
We
try.
eat good.
Mm.
We make music good. We are
Yeah.
intelligent people.
We have lots of
You know,
intelligent people. We need unity.
oh, a
Yeah.
lot. You know,
Jean,
go
we
to
have
go to see the Congolese, the professor in the universities. A lot are Congolese in Australia, everywhere. A lot and good professors.
absolutely. Jean, we have about 5 minutes, I think, before the technician here would like me to finish up here. So I'm going to close with a question about audience reflection and message. So, for those encountering Congo's history for the first time through this movie, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and your work, what would you say is the most important insight or feeling you hope that they take away with them? And how would you want your readers or viewers to carry this story forward?
I mean, with the soundtrack for a coup d'etat, there's a lot of reality will come out. A lot. Even me, who know the history of Congo, I know the story of Congo, but I had a lot of surprises. And I mean, that's the work of the memory. You know, Johan Grémonpré did a fantastic job. And not only the technical quality of his work, but the way he linked the those steps, in the rise of the independence through somebody like Lumumba.
Mm.
You could see some links from the black community in America and in Africa and the solidarity of Lumumba. You could see the non-aligné, the Khrushchev and all those things. When I was small, I was seeing, Khrushchev banging his shoe on the table, and in the Belgian television, they were saying the guy is crazy, you know. And then now with soundtrack for a coup d'etat, I learned that no, it was not his
It
crazy.
wasn't like
It was because they killed the woman.
exactly.
But all
I
my
mean,
life, I hear this thing that
I mean,
this guy was banging because he was crazy.
no, it was right. And they
It's,
deliberately excluded him from all those important meetings as well. That's like
oui,
you'd
oui.
see all the backstabbing, basically.
And when the Lumumba was killed on 17th January, nobody knew until February something. Nobody knew. The
So
other day, I was in France yesterday. One Congolese man came there. He said he was in a Catholic school.
mm,
He was in a Catholic school, and after seeing some track, he said uh, he was in a Catholic school. In Catholic school, they said to the children that he was maybe 10 years old or something. He's older than me. He said in the school they were saying to them that Mumbai is a communist. Mumbai
sorry,
is a
can you repeat that?
communist.
No, yeah,
It's,
we
he was
that was
saying,
the
yeah, they were,
yeah.
yeah, the people, the professor, the priest, and all that in the school, because Catholic school, they were saying to the children that Lumumba is a very dangerous communist. And my child, what the communists they do to the to the children, they take the children from their mothers.
Yes.
This guy, from 10 to 14 years old, was hating Lumumba.
No. This
From
is
10 years old until 14, he was hating Lumumba because they say he's a communist and the communists they take away children from their mother. That was
But
the propaganda.
isn't that very typical of imperialism in
Ah
general? It
oui,
seems like they take their own lie projected onto the other side and then like, oh, look, they're doing that. I mean, it's the same thing that we hear Malcolm saying, giving a very good example here that they beat you, they do all the crazy things to you, but the moment you start defending yourself as a black person, you become
yeah,
an extremist.
voilà, of course, you
Yeah.
know. But but hard, true hard. I think the only way to let the thinking pass through something emotional as like a art form, like a movie or a book. I think it's the only way
Yeah.
to. It's the only way you can because the idea and goes slightly through essays or through journalism. It doesn't pass so good through emotion.
But would you say movie is even a bit stronger because I mean, if
Yeah, it's
I
straight. Yeah, 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 yeah.
because if I put
But
myself of a white person in a white person's shoes, for example, learning about these atrocities, it absolutely creates some kind of if I write or talk about it, it creates some kind of resistance in the person and also a lot of
mm,
cognitive dissonance. Whereas when you show it, this is not, there's no it's not my word. This is actually the image of what
ouais,
happened.
voilà,
Then,
voilà.
I mean, people can still invent all kind of explanations, but I find that it's probably less probable because you have proof there. So it's not like the messenger is inventing something. This is actually what happened.
And that's the only way. Like I always say that the only way I wanted to speak, I was thinking not through journalism or something. I could do it, huh? But it was through books because what I say is very hard.
Mm.
Also, it's very hard. You know, I never all my books are tragedies. You know, but I mean, you still laugh. You still have a good time when you're reading it. Okay, but yeah, very hard tragedies. especially Congolese.
Mm.
Congolese is
Dreams,
very, no,
dreams crashing, lives destroyed.
but I mean the soundtrack for a coup d'etat it's a masterpiece. It's a
Mm.
masterpiece. There's nothing to say. And he was, and what I can admire to is he did with this movie without any préjugé, not without any judgment. You know,
Yeah,
he just
touch
took the
faces. Yeah.
things, you know,
Mm.
very flat,
Mm.
in a formidable music, of course,
Mm.
but he just put the thing there, showing us the views of the demonstrations.
Exactly. Mm. So for the Congolese young of today, or for activists, or even like people sort of just becoming acquainted with um, the topic, or the question, what would be the strongest message uh, to them, other than we will
I mean, to
survive?
them, we, the older one, we the elders, we have the transmission.
I think the younger ones are
And the young
actually
ones,
more in need of it.
the young ones, you have to search a little bit,
Yeah,
not to stay in the comfort of they tell you something and you just listen to it like that. No, no,
right.
you have to go far, more far in the way you're thinking,
Mm,
especially those days, because those
mm,
days is the days of AI and things like that. The video and all all those things, the intelligence things, it's more present. You know, there's
yeah.
too much pictures, too much video, too much. So but you have to search more because it's easy to make you think what is not true. You know, and the young way, something like this movie, the soundtrack, it's something important, very, very important. I mean, something you have to advise to a lot of people to say to go and the occasion to see that, to see it,
I
and
am
see,
trying.
yeah, because
I'm
it's,
trying, but the issue
I,
here with a lot of young people is the politics. That I think
yeah,
in the
but
diaspora in general, that they don't want to touch on the politics. And so how do
I
you
mean,
bridge that?
yeah, I try with books. I'm politic in my book. I mean, not all writers, but I mean, but they don't like to read much, no, either. You know, but I
No,
mean,
but how do we show them that whether or not, whether you want
no,
it or
but
not,
sometimes
politics is
maybe.
there.
I mean, politics, you can talk about politics through a meeting, or not only meeting, but something, an event, something, something happening, or like through a theater thing or theater play, or how do you call that, installation and things like that,
What about the
You can,
music?
I mean, to try music, of course,
Mm,
I mean, the music, even music, I was going to nightclub when I was young, you know, when I was 16, 18, I was going to nightclub. But that time, all the musicians, they were singing, they were talking about the civil rights. They were talking about the liberation of black and men and women. But I'm in nightclub, and I'm dancing on Said Loud, I'm black and proud for James Brown. But when I hear that, it's a message for me. I mean, that
yeah,
the politics must be in that way,
exactly right.
you know, it must be in that way.
Mm.
That's why my books are all politic, all, but anybody can read it.
Our
you know.
existence is
It's
political
always
as well.
politics. It's very, I mean, you know.
Absolutely. Okay, Jean, I've extended a few minutes longer than I was supposed to, but I have to close now. And so to you and to everybody that are watching this stream, we would like to thank you in Koli Jean Bofane from Congolese Heritage, as well as from Friends of the Congo and from Cinema Zita for sharing your experiences and insights. Your reflections remind us that history, literature, and memory are deeply intertwined. And as we leave here, let us carry these stories not just as records of the past, but as living lessons for the present and for the future. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for what I can.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Ciao.
Vad tänker du göra med det här då?
Jag kommer ladda upp det sen. På internet.
Hör det till, det vet du sen gammalt.
Ja,
Det är inte helt lätt att förstå.
Nej, det är han inte. Jag ska försöka. Vi hade tänkt en helt annan uppsättning vad gäller tekniken, men han var inte så jättesugen på det. Vänta bara, så ska jag säga hej då till de här och sen så kan vi prata. Kito? Ja, absolut. Det går bra.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I'm going to disconnect everything.
Yes. I've already cut off the StreamYard, so you should be able to just exit out on Instagram.
All right. So I will try to touch base with you in a bit more than an hour or so, maybe, unless you're in the meeting, the Sunday meeting, but we'll see. Otherwise, maybe tomorrow also.
Yeah, my meeting will be at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Okay, so maybe I'll try to touch base with you tomorrow then. Yeah, also.
Sounds good. That was a very good dialogue.
You
Excellent.
think?
Oh yes. Oh
right.
yes. Especially for us that are not Congolese to be able to hear that information. From both of y'all being able to express yourselves. That was dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, I have to try to get out of this phase before they kick us out.
All right.
But thank you so much, both of you. It was a pleasure once more.
Thank you both.
All right, take care.
Appreciate y'all.
Bye.
Peace.